Maddox bought his 5-acre lot long before the HOA existed. He built his house himself, no debt, no oversight, no meddling committees. Years later, a shiny new subdivision called Willow Crest popped up half a mile down the road. Its residents formed an HOA and, over time, started believing their rules extended beyond their fences. It was only a matter of time before someone decided to come knocking. One Tuesday morning, Maddox found a glossy envelope taped to his mailbox. Inside was a mandatory membership notice, declaring that all community-adjacent homeowners were required to join the Willow Crest HOA and start paying quarterly dues. They even stapled an invoice for $687 and a welcome sheet listing fines for non-compliant architecture, unsanctioned fencing, and prohibited lawn structures. Maddox's lawn structures were 2 tractors, a chicken coop, and a rain barrel older than the HOA itself. He tossed the packet in his burn barrel and thought that was the end of it. 3 days later, a woman named Teresa, board secretary and self-proclaimed compliance liaison, showed up at his driveway with a clipboard. She didn't introduce herself properly. She didn't ask permission to enter. She marched up and started taking photos of his shed, garden, and pickup. Maddox opened the screen door and told her she had 10 seconds to get off his property. She sniffed and said, "You're already in violation, so I suggest you cooperate before formal measures begin." He pointed her back to the street without another word. The next week, he received a letter claiming that failure to join the HOA would result in a petition to initiate forced compliance through property annexation. They gave him 15 days to sign the membership documents or face legal action. Maddox didn't bother replying. Instead, he took a quiet drive to the county assessor's office, then to the clerk, then to the zoning commission. See, he didn't just live outside the HOA. His parcel sat on what used to be unincorporated farmland with its own grandfathered code protections. Willow Crest's jurisdiction ended exactly 0.47 miles from his front fence, and the county had never approved any boundary expansion. The HOA, unaware of this, escalated again. One Saturday morning, Maddox stepped outside to see 2 men in reflective vests installing a metal sign near his driveway. Willow Crest Community, Private Road, HOA Authority enforced. They had even stenciled the HOA logo across the bottom. The road was county-owned. The sign was illegal. The men were smug until he photographed them, their truck, and the sign. That same afternoon, he met with the county sheriff, a longtime friend, hunting buddy, and the same guy whose kids fed Maddox's goats when he traveled. The sheriff took one look at the pictures and said, "I'll handle it." 2 days later, sheriff's deputies showed up at the HOA president's door with citations for unauthorized signage, attempted encroachment, and civil harassment. The president tried to blame the board. The board tried to blame Teresa. Teresa tried to say Maddox was misunderstanding community responsibilities. The deputies were unimpressed. But Maddox wasn't finished. He hired a real estate attorney just long enough to draft a cease and desist notice that cited county law, land use codes, easement maps, and the original plat from 30 years earlier. The notice also warned that any further attempts to annex his property or collect dues would result in a lawsuit seeking damages and attorney fees. A copy went to the HOA board, another to the county commissioners, a third to the HOA's property management company. Within a week, Willow Crest called an emergency meeting. Dues were quietly refunded to a few neighbors they'd already bullied. They issued a memo stating that non-member parcels are beyond HOA engagement and interaction. Teresa resigned. The metal sign vanished overnight, and the HOA president sent Maddox a letter clarifying that membership was always optional. He didn't bother to open it. Maddox still drives past the subdivision every so often. If a board member's outside when he goes by, they suddenly become intensely interested in their mailbox or hedge clippers. They wanted him to join their rules. He reminded them who never needed them in the first place.